The list of Mayan gods from C to G. Cabaguil. One of the 13 gods who assisted in the creation of human beings. His name means heart of the sky. Cabrakan. Also known as Cabrakan, he was the god of earthquakes in mountains. He was the son of the gods Gucup Cakix and Camalotz and plays a significant role early in the Popol Vuh, where he is defeated by the hero twins as is his brothers Apakna. Cacoch. A creator god who presides over creativity and communication, especially relating to divine communications. Cakulha. A lesser god of lightning bolts who, with his brother Coyopa, assists the supreme god of lightning, Yaluk, in creating the storms sent by the rain god Chac. Camalotz. The servant of Alam who, after the second attempt at creation, beheaded most of the people in the world in order that the gods could begin again. His name means sudden bloodletter. Camazotz. The bat god of Xibalba who feeds on blood. In the Popol Vuh he tears off the head of one of the hero twins, Hun-Hunapu, who is then revived by his brother. Camazotz was then defeated and cast out of creation. Camaxtli. The Maya god of fate who was known to the Aztecs as Mixcoatl or Mixcoatl Camaxtli. He was associated with war, hunting, and creation and was credited with bringing fire to earth. Cauac. One of the 4 Bacabs, Cauac controls the westerly direction and the west wind. Also known as Zaximi. Chuck. The supreme god of storms and rain and associated with agriculture and fertility. He was known as the Lord of the Rains and Winds and maintained important water sources such as cenotes, wells, streams, and springs. He was widely popular and prayers and sacrifices were frequently offered to court his favor and that of the 4 lesser Chacs. A lord of the sky, he was the sworn enemy of Camazotz of Xibalba and was thought of as a caring, if unpredictable, deity. Chacs. These were 4 weather spirits, located at each of the corners of the world, who were under the command of the great god Chac and did his bidding. Chac-Uayab-Xoc. The protector of fish and patron of fishermen. Chamer. One of the gods of death and regeneration of Xibalba. Chen. Also known as Chen, she was the goddess of maize, magic, and a counselor to the kings. She was also closely associated with homoerotic relationships and homosexuality. According to the priest Las Casas, she introduced homosexuality to the Maya nobles who encouraged their children to enter into homosexual marriages. She is associated with the moon and, sometimes, is depicted as a male deity. Chicchan. These were 4 rain gods, from the 4 corners of the world, who were associated with the Bacabs. Chirakan-Ixmucane. A creator goddess who was formed out of 4 earlier creators and listed among the 13 divinities who first engaged in the creation of human beings. Cit-Bolon-Tum. One of 2 great healer gods, with a Haucamahez. Cizin. Also known as, or associated with, the names Cizin, Yum-Simil, and Apuk, he was a god of death who lived in Xibalba, Metnal to the Yucatec Maya, and is often pictured as a dancing human skeleton smoking a cigarette. He keeps the souls of evil people in the underworld where they are subjected to his torments and trickery. Post-conquest, he became closely identified with the Christian devil. Colel Cab. An earth goddess who cares especially for the bees. She is still invoked by modern-day Maya day keepers in chants to ward off attacks on nests, remedy nest problems, and aid hive keepers with their bees. Colop-U-Uichikin. God of the sky and particularly of eclipses. Cotzbalam. A servant of Alam who followed after Camalotz after the failed second attempt at creation and devoured the bodies of the people who were beheaded. His name means crunching jaguar. Coyopa. A lesser god of sound and of thunder who works with his brother Cakulha under the guidance of the supreme god lightning, Yaluk, to create the storms sent by the rain god Chac. Cuchumaquic. A lord of Xibalba whose name means blood gatherer. He is the father of the goddess Ekchuah and grandfather of the hero twins, Hunapu and Xbalanque. Cum Hau. A god of death and regeneration who lived in Xibalba. An agricultural god whose name is not yet known. Ekchuah. A god also known as Ekchuah and, earlier, as only god M. He presides over and protects travelers, merchants, and warriors and is depicted as a dark-skinned male carrying a bag over his shoulder. He is also recognized as the patron and protector of cacao and cacao products. El Gran Dios. The great God who was the God of the Christians and dwelled in the seventh level above the earth. In some stories he is associated with Hunab-Ku. This figure is a late, post-conquest, addition to the Maya pantheon. F. A god of war associated with human sacrifice and repeated victories over Ekchuah. He is also known as Bulik-Chaptan. See Bulik-Chaptan. Gucumatz. This god is one of the most important, if not the most important, in the pantheon of the Maya. The name Gucumatz is the Quiche Maya designation for the god known to the Yucatec Maya as Kukulkan and most famously, in the Nahuatl language, as Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent or the Quetzal-feathered serpent, who was worshipped as early as the 1st century BCE at the great city of Teotihuacan. Gucumatz is identified as one of 13 deities who shaped the world and created human beings. Gucup Cakix. This deity, also known as Gucup Cakix, which means seven macaw, is depicted in the Popol Vuh as an arrogant bird demon who pretended to be both the sun and the moon and thus threw life out of balance until he was defeated by Hunapuan's Balank, the hero twins. He was the father of Cabrakan and Zapakna, who were also overthrown by the famous twins. Thank you for watching.